fellow collectors, Shuki here with a review of the Lupinranger vs. Patranger Hammer Dial Fighter. So this is our first, well, not technically our first because we had the little emblems, but our first campaign versus vehicle. And so I like this one quite a bit. It is really neat. If it does look a little bit familiar to you, it is because it is a remold of the Blade Dial Fighter from the Scissors and Blade Dial Fighter. So you can see they share pretty much the same body, this middle part right here, but instead of these little fold out wings that make the sword, you have these kind of like thruster looking wings that fold up to make a hammer, which is alright. I kind of wish they pegged in because they are kind of a more pliable, softer plastic, soft like rubbery plastic, so they do kind of move around a little bit. But yeah, so it's a nice little remold of that handle back here, so it can be held. But I do like it. It kind of shares a color scheme with Samus's ship from the Metroid series, so I think that's pretty cool too. And it got a nice chrome dial up on top, which I think is pretty neat. So I do love the way this works, and this was a campaign item. I think in Japan it was if you bought any versus vehicle toy in the April when the time frame was, but a lot of shops did it strictly if you bought the Scissors and Blade Dial Fighter, then you could go ahead and get this one. So that's how HLJ did it. That's where I got this one from. But moving the blade aside, because it's a remold, it can just slot right in to where the Blade Dial Fighter sits, so then you can have the hammer up there instead, which I think is really cool. And this is capable of kind of folding up, but it doesn't fold up all the way, so you do have to have them spread out in its like normal vehicle mode, which gives the Scissors Dial Fighter a little bit of a cooler little look to it, which I think is pretty neat. So there is that. I like it a lot. I think it's kind of cool. As far as the rails go, it is number 28. It is right down there. So pretty cool, but of course we need to check it out in the Versus Changer. So let's go ahead and check it out. Again, it doesn't work. And now the Versus Changer makes like hammer noises. I love it. I love it so much. It's just so cool. Oh, I love that noise. So pretty neat. So of course you can take Lupin Knight, fold that up into the attack mode, plop it in the hand of the blue Dial Fighter, and there you have Lupin Hammer Knight, I believe is the name of this one. But it's the same as Lupin Knight, obviously, but wielding the hammer, which I think just looks really cool. I love the way this looks as a weapon. I think it's kind of neat. Plus, it adds a splash of orange to the form, which I think is really cool. So obviously, you can attach yellow on here too and just carry it that way. This was only in the show, 1, to advertise the campaign, but 2, the Blade Dial Fighter got hit with the gender swapping like ray thing, the sex swapping ray. I don't know what you want to call it. I don't know if it had an actual term, but and it changed the blade into the hammer, and everyone's like, oh, weapons have sexes and stuff. I don't know, it was really weird, but typical Sentai, really. But I am glad they kind of worked it into the show, but definitely really cool. So that about does it for this, and I do hope we get more of these. I like the fact that the scissors and blade, as well as the crane and drill, have like not only an arm attachment, but a little weapon attachment as well, and I think that is continuing sort of with the upcoming ones as well. I just like the fact that not only do we get something that plays a new sound in the Versus Changer, we also get a new weapon out of it for the mecha, which I think is just, it's cool. I like the way that this is all working, and plus it's interchangeable with the scissors dial fighter, and I think that's neat as well. So I hope we get an alternate drill at some point. I don't know what it would be exactly, but turn into another gun, I don't know. But I do like it quite a bit, and I'm glad I was able to get a hold of one. If you missed out on the campaign, I wouldn't pay more than about maybe $10 to $15 for this. It's going for about 1,500 yen or so, give or take. So not too bad at all at the end of the day, but really cool, like it a lot, and that about does it for this review. Let me know what you think in the comments down below, and as always, thanks for watching, take care, have a great one, bye. I'd like to thank Joey, Mr. Mike, Josh, VZ17, and all my fans who support me on Patreon.